Okay, so in the last session we completed auto posting, auto reversal, and budgets. And before to that session, like we tried with these concepts, data access set, security rules, and reporting ledger. We completed setups, and just in case of data access set, we were not able to do all the setups, and the secure rules also same issue, and the reporting ledger we did all the setups, but the ledger reporting ledger mapping with the roles, it's not working in that instance. Now just I completed all the setups in the new instance. Okay, so we'll try all these in this environment now so that we can see the result. Okay, we'll go with the data access set. So already we discussed the data access set, what setups required and all, right? So this is a case. We were trying to create the data access set. It was not working properly, where system is was not giving the option of choosing the specific balance and segment values to set different privileges. Now we'll go with the same example. First we'll go and create the data access set. As a part of data access set, what we'll do is, so we'll set read only access for 1000 and 2000 balance and segment values. For 3000 we'll give read and write privileges. After completing this data access set definition, we'll create the user, will associate one or two roles to that user, and we'll just provide the data access for that user, and we'll map that data access set only to that user, and we'll run LDAP, and we'll create journal to test, okay, what sort of privileges that user is going to have. As per our data access set, the user should have access to only this 3000 to create the journals. For remaining 1000 2000, system should allow that user to see the existing data, but it should not allow to create the transactions. Okay, we'll go on to, first we'll complete these setups and we'll test it. Fine. So we have to create the data access set. So I created all the setups as a new Google. Okay, earlier we were using the name called as Google. Now I just taken the prefix as a new, because in this instance already Google with the Google user somebody created, so I just taken the name as a prefix as a new. Fine. So go to setup and maintenance. Okay, so we can go to our project, just click on overview. So open the project, search for the task called as data access set. Data access set, search for the task, and here you can just click on manage data access sets. Click on go to task icon. Click on create. So we can give the name as new Google data access set. The description is, so anyway we are going to set that privileges. If you want to write the description, you can write the same as for 1000 2000 read only, and 3000 balance and segment value read and write. That you may write as a description. And access set type, we are not going to set this data access set privileges at entire ledger level. We want to set for balance and segment values. So select primary balance and segment values as a access set type, and select our chart of accounts. The chart of account also I created as a with the prefix as a new. Okay, so new Google Flex field, and accounting calendar also the same name you can see. So new Google accounting calendar. Now you can just go to access set assignments, click on add, and select our primary ledger. Okay, which primary ledger has this calendar and chart of accounts, those ledgers only system will display. We have only one primary ledger with this combination, chart of accounts and the accounting calendar. Select it. So you want to set the same privileges for all the balance and segment values which are in this ledger? No. So we want to set for 3000 read and write, 1000 and 2000 read only, right? So all values by default system select all values, uncheck it. Okay. So in that instance, it was not allowing us to modify this, right? It was freezed. Okay, that was the issue. We could not do it. That instance issue. Okay, fine. Now you can say select specific values. Say single value and select balance and segment value 1000. So for 1000 we want to set read only privileges. Say read only. Then click on add. The same you can repeat for remaining values as we planned. Select primary ledger and uncheck say single value and segment value is 2000. For 2000 also read only access. Just click on add. So ledger name is new Google USA primary ledger. Uncheck all values and select as a single value and select balance and segment value called as 3000, and for 3000 we want to give read and write privileges. That's what we planned, right? So read and write, that's all. Now you can say save and close. Okay, we create a data access set as per our requirement. Okay, done. Now to test this, we'll go with a separate user, and to that user related roles we'll associate this data access set instead of ledger. Fine. So we'll go and create the separate user. So go to security console. And say add user account. So here you can say username as we'll write the name as Google Data Access Set. Okay, Google Data Access Set. So confirm the password. Just click on add role. So we can assign the role called as general accounting, accountant as well as accounting manager. So you can assign these two roles. These two roles will have a privileges to most of the functionality of GL. Assign. You can assign role called as general accounting manager. And done. I think this password is changed. Fine. I'll say save and close. So we created a user. Okay, first we created data access set. We created user. We assign GL roles to this user to test this data access set functionality. So we assign two roles, and enough. Those two roles are enough to test this functionality. Now we'll go and provide the data access for this user related roles. We'll go and assign our data access set to the user related roles. Okay, two roles we assign to the user. To those two roles, we have to assign the data access set. We'll go and do it. So for that, you can go to the task called as data access for users. Search for the task called as data access for users. Manage data access for users. Click on add. So username is Google Data Access Set, DAS. And select role. We assign two roles. Select first one. And security contest is data access set. And the data access set which we have to assign is Google Data Access Set. I think we written the name as new. So this is the one which we created, right? New Google Data Access Set. And just click on add. Go to roles and select General Accounting Manager. And security contest data access set. The data access set name is new Google Data Access Set. It says save and close. Okay, submit LDAP job. We go to schedule processes. LDAP. Say OK. Submit. Okay, seems to this job is already running. Which is submitted by other user. No issues. It will get synchronized automatically. It may take some time. Fine, we submitted that. So provided data access, we submitted LDAP job. Done. Now we'll go on to create, we'll log into the instance as a Google Data Access Set user, and we'll try to test it. So username is Google DAS Data Access Set. For this user, system should allow to create the journals only with a balance and segment value 3000 because of data access set privileges. We'll go and see that. Go to journals. So system is detecting this new Google data access set. So now you can go to task list, say create journal. You can provide the name for journal, expense, select any one of the category. Now as per data access set, so system should not allow this user to select balance and segment value 1000 or 2000. It should allow only 3000. We'll see. See, only 3000. So there is no option for this user to create the transactions with 1000 or 2000, since this user has access to read only access. If any journals are available in the application with the 1000 and 2000 balance and segment values, the user will be able to view. Okay, there is no option to create. So this is how it works. Same as EBS functionality, right? The same. This is how we have in EBS also. That this is all about data access set. So now we'll see security rules. Okay, security rules also, just I think we just did few setups, and we stopped because there was some issue with the instance, right? So we'll go and see that. So here we have all the setups we written and we plan to do in this way, right? So first we have to create the security rules. Already we discussed in case of EBS security rules we can define it. We'll define at segment level, but in case of Fusion, that works at value set level. Okay, value set level you can manage, and then you can assign. You can create SR. In case of EBS, we assign security rule to responsibility. Here we have to assign to role. We'll go with this example. We'll assign the security rule to role called as general accounting manager or general accountant, and we'll create separate user to test this SR, and we'll assign the role to user, this role, and we'll map the ledger access to this role. We'll run LDAP and we'll test it. So to create the security rule, we'll go with this option. Okay, with the security rule, what we can do is we'll create the rule saying allow only 1000, don't allow 2000 and 3000 for this user related role. Primarily we map at user level, role level. So the role is associated with which user, for all the users that would be applicable. It can be mapped at role level. Fine. The definition can be possible at value set level. Okay. So we'll go and define it. So create SR. So to create the security rule, we have to go to specific value set. We'll go and create the security rule. For any segment of values, we can create the security rule, right? It can be company, department, account, any segment we can create. So we can go with uh, department related values, or company, we can go with the company. So now before we go and create, we'll just log into this instance. You'll see, we'll verify we have access to how many balance and segment values. Go to journals, say create journal. So now this user has access to 3 balance and segment values. We can click and see 1000, 2000, 3000. Now we are going to create SR which will allow only one balance and segment value. That's how we are going to create a rule. We'll see that. So first we have to create the security rule against the value set. So go to value set window, page, setup and maintenance, search for the task called as chart of accounts value sets. You can search from here or from the project. Chart of accounts value sets. Okay, find our value set. Value set name is new Google company. So this is our value set. Within this value set, what are the values we have? Against those values, we want to implement SR. So to create the SR rule, click on edit. Click on edit. Now here is the option to enable the security rule. Enable security, and you can write the security rule name. I'll just write it as SR1. So after enabling and giving this name, you have to save it. Once you save, this tab will get enabled, which will allow you to define the rule. Okay, just click on save. Click on save. You must enter the data security object name and the company that security name is required. So we entered the same we entered just now. Okay, SR1. Right. Must be unique. Okay, fine. Then there may be some other name. So I written as a SR1. Save it. Fine, saved. Now you can click on edit data security. Here you can create the security rule. Click on edit data security. So first we have to create the condition. Click on create. New Google SR. Same name you can take as a display name, and go to condition section. Click on add. Select column name as a value. Select operator. So the condition. So you can select negative or positive condition. If you say the equal to, you can specify specific balance and segment value depending on say value set. So that value only will be allowed. If you say not between, you may specify. So not between 2000 and 3000, those it won't display. It won't allow. So that's how you can set it up. I want to say I want to allow only 1000, right? So I can select as equal to. Here rule what we planned is allow 1000 only. Okay, equal to 1000. That means the positive condition. If you don't want to allow 1000, you can say not equal to, does not equal. Not equal, you can specify. That means except 1000 remaining values system will allow to record the transaction. That's how you can set. There are many just operators we have. as per requirement you can set it up. Now you can save it. Now we are specifying equal to 1000 means allow only 1000. That is the meaning of the rule condition. Now you can go to policy tab. Go to policy tab and click on add. Okay, go to policy tab and click on add. And here you can provide the name. Start date you can take today's date. The module system is taking a general ledger. And go to role. Now you want to assign this security rule to which role? The role you have to select. So click on add to select the role. The role name is General Accounting Manager. We can select it. So here application you can select as FSCM, which is related to financials. System will understand. So select role called as General Accounting Manager. Select, say apply. And say OK. System selected. Okay, now go to rule. Now SR rule we have to select which condition is applicable for this. We have to select. Here we created a condition right in the first tab. The same, only one condition that you search and select. Condition we given as a new Google SR. That's it. Sorry. Search. Select. What is? Yeah. Now you can select. Say OK. Then click on save and close. Done. Now say submit. We created security rule that we assign to specific role. Okay, we assign to specific role. Now to test it, what you can do is you can create the separate user. Okay, we assign to this role. Now we'll go and create the separate user to test this functionality. Go to security console. We can create the user called as Google SR. Fine. So assign same role to this user. So to this role, SR is already associated. Just resetting the password. Say save and close. Now assign primary ledger to this role to have access to transaction process. Go to setup and maintenance. Search for the task called as data access for users. We given name as Google SR. Select role. Security contest is data access set. Our ledger name is new Google USA primary ledger. So for this role already SR is associated. Just click on done. So we completed all the setups. We're done with this. Now we'll go and submit the LDAP job. Okay. So run LDAP job. Go to scheduled processes. Go to scheduled processes. Click on schedule new process. Search for LDAP. Select and say OK. Say OK. And say submit. We know it takes some time to complete it. So there one more current pending. Okay. Still system is running some other jobs. Okay. So that is the reason it is ending with error. No issues. Let system complete. See here the two latest LDAP changes recently completed. Maybe somebody submitted another job. The same job, LDAP job somebody submitted. So that is the reason it's not accepting. No issues. We know it synchronizes automatically. Right. So we're done with everything. Now we can log into the instance as a Google SR user and you can see the impact of the rule which we defined. So once you log into the instance as a Google SR user, so system should allow you only for balance and segment value 1000 because of the rule which we created and associated to this role. We'll go and see that. So that will try from this browser. The username is Google SR. Go to journals. Hope it is synchronized. Yes. Go to task list, say create journal. Because of SR, this user for the specific role will have access to only balance and segment value 1000. We can find the same here. See, click on search. If you check the company values, you can see only 1000. What's allowing? Or what's wrong with this? Google SR, right? Oh. 1 second. We have it two roles with the same name, right? We'll go and verify which we associated. Here you can check it. So that point also very important. Just we'll go and check it. Chart of accounts value sets. You look at the role code because Role name same, codes are different, right? The company value set where we defined and associated SR2 as value set. Just click on edit. Just click on edit data security. So whatever we created, we can see here, and go to policy. Check which role we assign this SR. So ORA. Okay, we assign to the role name is General Accounting Manager, but code is ORAGL General Accounting. But there, whatever we assign, that is a different. So that is the reason it is not impacting. Now we'll go on to change to that. Okay, so here code is ORA. The same we associated or not, we'll go and check it. So data access for users. So before that, just go to security console. Google SR. So the one which we assigned, that's a different code. Okay. So click on edit. So you can delete it. You can add the same. So we assigned our SR to General Accounting Manager. Okay, General Accounting Manager, where the code starts with ORA. Exactly to this role we assigned our SR. Select the same. So this is just very important. We are doing this mapping. Say save and close. Done. Now we have to provide the data access to this role. Now go to data access for users task. So just search with your user. Okay. Users with the data access. Earlier, whatever you assigned, the role itself we deleted. So that should not be available here. Just search for that. Search. There should not be any definition. So still it is remain. But it's not valid. You can remove it. So here revoke data access assignments. Done. User is Google SR. The role General Accounting Manager. Security contest data access set. New Google USA private ledger. Say save and close. Click on done. Now you can submit LDAP. Submit LDAP. Seems to the same job system is running. So no issues. And one more point we have to consider when you create SR, just go and verify the deployment status against the chart of accounts or say accounting flex field, because this is related to chart of account level values, conditions, rules we are creating. Go to chart of accounts, chart of account structure, and just check the status. Make sure that the structure status is deployed. The flex field status is deployed. When you create SR or CVR, this we have to consider. So check the status, deployment status here. So not deployed because we created a SR. Whenever you create SR, system will consider that there is some update. So you have to submit for a deployment, then it will work. So it will take minimum 5 minutes time because within this instance we have many chart of account structures and instances. Okay, here we'll have a 5 minutes break and we'll continue. Meantime, I'll be stopping the recording also. Fine, now we can see the status as deployed confirmation. Just say okay, you can see the status now. Status is deployed. So now we can log into the instance as a Google SR user. We can see the impact of the rule which we implemented. So that will log in from the different browser. So just let's sign out and sign in for the same. Now it should impact. Go to journals. Go to task list to say create journal. And if you go to this journal entry, you could see only company 1000 because of SR. Just click on this LOV. You can see 1000. The same will impact to our new Google user also. The reason for that user also this role is assigned to this role, the same SR is applicable. Okay, so this is all about SR. We can just apply this on any segment values, right? But we tried with the company, that's all. Say close. Done. So this is all about SecurityRule. We tested system is allowing only 1000. Okay. Now what we'll do is, so we tested SR. Now we don't need to go with that. You may disable the SR rule for the specific value set. Once you disable, again you have to submit deployment. So new Google company. Our value set is new Google company. So you can go to edit. Let's disable it. Once you disable and save it, system will update the accounting flexible status as edited, and again you have to go and do deploy it. So you can continue with the same rule, no issues, but just let's disable so that we'll be able to have access to three balance and segment values. So now go to chart of account structures, manage chart of account structures. See the status, because we disabled SR, so the deployment status is changed to edited. Now again you have to submit for deployment. Again it will take minimum 5 minutes time. Okay, we'll wait for 5 minutes and we'll continue. Okay, so meantime I'll stop the recording also. Instead of recording this processing time, I'll stop it. So the just we could see the confirmation, say okay. So now we'll have access to all the balance and segment values from any user. Okay, now it's quite normal how we defined by default what are the privileges we have. So that's all about security rule. Now we'll see reporting ledger. Okay, reporting ledger also in the previous session we completed all the setups, but here as a part of opening reporting ledger periods, system was not allowing since there was some issue with that instance. Now anyway, we'll just create all these setups once again in this instance. So first we'll go and create the reporting ledger in INR. Our primary ledger currency is USD. To test this reporting ledger functionality, okay, how system will flow that ledger, primary ledger journals into reporting ledger. So to test that, we'll have a separate user and we'll assign one or two roles to this user, and we'll provide data access and we'll go through this setup process. Then finally we'll be testing this transaction flow. So first we'll go and create the reporting ledger by selecting the currency as INR. So go to our implementation project. Search for the task called as reporting currency within this. Open this project. Search for reporting currency. Search. So manage reporting currencies. Then just click on go to task icon. So now we are going to create the reporting ledger against our primary ledger. So this is our primary ledger. We know when you create the reporting, to create the reporting ledger, system will use same calendar and chart of accounts, right? Same this calendar and this chart of account system will use. Only we have to provide the reporting currency. Just click on create. Say new Google INR reporting ledger. Just you can write the name as INR reporting ledger. And currency conversion level set to journals and select currency as a reporting currency. The reporting currency is INR. Since this field is mandatory, since not field like this, since we are going to do the conversion, so you have to select the currency conversion rate type. So set as a corporate. We'll go and define the rates also. The rate type called as corporate between USD and INR. Then say save and close. So we created reporting currency. With this name system will create reporting ledger. The same name system will use to create the reporting ledger. Creating the reporting currency is nothing but creating reporting ledger. Done. Now I'll create the separate user to have access to this reporting ledger. We're going to create the user called as reporting or Google reporting. So go to security console, create user called as Google reporting. Or we can create the name as INR reporting. You can give the name as INR reporting. And just associate one or two roles to this user so that those will allow us to go and see those journals which are flowing from primary ledger. Say general accounting manager. Okay, general accounting manager. Select and say assign. Enough, this one role is enough for our testing purpose. And say save and close. Now to this role we have to associate reporting ledger. So we created a user and we assigned one role to this user. Now we have to assign our reporting ledger to this user role. Okay, here username is INR reporting. That's how we given the name. So we'll go to provide the data access for this user related role. Go to setup and maintenance. Search for the task called as data access for users. Search. Click on data access for users. So just click on create. The username is INR reporting. Just tab out, system will fetch the name if the name is exist. Now go to role. We assigned only one role. Select. Security contest is DataAccessSet. Even if you create the reporting ledger, against the reporting ledger, system will create the DataAccessSet. So select DataAccessSet, and here and search for new Google INR reporting ledger. This is our reporting ledger. Say save and close. If I submit LDAP, or else system will synchronize automatically by taking few minutes of time. That's all. Done. So you may run the LDAP, or else you can ignore it, no issues. So we'll go and define the daily rates between USD and INR. Because when you create the transaction or primary ledger with USD currency, that same transaction related balances need to be reported in INR in reporting ledger. So we'll go and define the rates, daily rates. So for daily rates, we can search for the task from here. Daily rates. So manage daily rates. Go to daily rates. Say create in spreadsheet. Say connect. Username is new Google. So version related checking, you can say skip. So specify from and to currency, USD to INR. Instead of selecting from LOB, directly you can type. Conversion rate type, at the time of reporting currency definition, we selected as corporate. So just select as corporate here. From and to conversion dates, say July 10th, 18 to same date. One day is enough because we are going to test now itself. Conversion rate, say 68. Inverse system will create automatically. So go to create daily rates and say submit. Fine. Rows inserted successfully and imported. Now we can close this. So we define the rates. Now we have to go and open the periods in reporting ledger. Go to reporting ledger. So here we can navigate. Else we'll log in from this browser. So we created username as INR reporting, right? I think there is some issue with the password. We'll reset the password for that user. I think it got changed in the process of user definition role assignment. I think it got updated. INR reporting. Just reset the password. Fine, done. Now you can try to log in. INR reporting. Provide password. So this user will have access to reporting ledger, and we can open the reporting ledger periods. After opening, we can go and create one journal and we have to post in the primary that should be reported to this reporting ledger. So go to period close task. So here system will default our reporting ledger, new Google INR reporting ledger. The period status is never open. So open the first period as a John. Say OK. Yes. Say OK. Just refresh this task whatever we submitted. So now John period status is open, the first period. Now we have to open the current period as a target period. Go to actions, select open target period. So July. Say open. Say yes. Say OK. Okay, done. So in reporting ledger, current period status is open. Now just we are accessing reporting ledger from this Mozilla browser as a INR reporting user, and from Chrome we connected to the same instance as a new Google user. Now what we'll do is we'll go and create the journal here. Create journal from this user. Go to journals. So we completed all the setups, right? Done. LDAP automatic will synchronize or else you can run it. Now we'll create the journal in primary ledger and we'll post it. That should get reported to reporting ledger and reporting currency, right? So we are in the primary ledger, right? New Google USA primary ledger. Go to create journals task. You can write any name. Test. So you can take any one of the category. Create journal and post it. Say okay and say $10,000. Go to next line. You may select cash or liability account. Say cash account. Enter credit amount. So $10,000. Save it. And complete this batch creation. Now you can submit this journal for posting. So the posting process will trigger this journal to reporting ledger. Just click on post. We'll wait to see the batch status as a posted. Till the time you can keep hitting on this refresh. It is for balances purpose, but at the same time it will update the status here also. Batch status is processing. Okay, meantime we'll go to this user and we'll navigate to manage journals. So okay, this you can just expand this. Go to journals. Manage journals. Before we go and check, we'll verify in the primary ledger what is the status. Yeah, posted. That means this would be available in the reporting ledger in reporting currency. You can search the current period in reporting ledger. So July month and click on search. So you can find the same journal here in reporting currency. Just open, you can see the same journal balances in INR along with USD amounts and posted also. So you can see INR balances. This is the meaning of reporting. The functionality and setups remain same as EBS. So this is how the reporting configuration to be done and the process we tested by passing one journal primary ledger, the same getting reported in the reporting ledger, in reporting currency. So done. So here we got stuck with this with the reporting ledger only we stuck in the previous instance, right? It was not reflecting that reporting ledger mapping with a specific role. In this environment it is working fine. That is only instance specific issue. This also I'm marking as a done. So we have a secondary ledger. Of course, we didn't try with the secondary ledger in the other previous instance also. So secondary ledger approvals and all. So we'll work on this secondary ledger, journal approvals, revaluation, translation. If time permits, we'll complete consolidation also in the tomorrow session. Okay. So that's all for today. We'll connect tomorrow same time and we'll just work on these topics. And after completing these few topics, we'll work on these pending topics, as well as we have other modules, the basic configuration, basic process flow to test fusion tax and fusion expense. So these also we have in the pending list. So first we'll complete this and we'll proceed with these pending topics. Okay, we'll make sure that we'll finish within this week. Okay, fine. So any questions from anyone, please? So if you have any issue with instance, please write an email. The instance, the previous one got refreshed and we shared new instance credentials also with everyone. If you have any issue with the instance, you can just send email on this mail ID, rpt.com@gmail.com. Okay, so we can work on it. So seems to no questions from anyone. Then that's all for today. We'll connect tomorrow same time. Have a good day and good night. Thank you all.